Hello, my friends. Welcome back to your mats and welcome to this class, Yoga for Around the Holidays. So I'm filming this Christmas week, but maybe you're taking this a different time of year. Maybe it's surrounding a big event, a different holiday, a birthday. And for a lot of us, it can kind of strum up some anxiety or just hard feelings to work through. And this class is to remind you all that you hold the power. You hold everything inside of yourself to find that peace. And sometimes we just need a reminder to tune into that and to take that power back for ourselves. So I want you to pause this video, grab anything you need for today's class. On my end, all you will need is a blanket or just something to provide a little bit of padding. But make sure you get comfortable, maybe grab a hot cup of tea or anything that makes you feel safe and grounded. And then I will meet you all right back here on your mats. Okay, my friends, so today we're going to begin in an easy seat. Maybe you would like to be up against a wall. Find what feels best in your body, but work your way into a cross-legged seat. If you like to find a little bit of elevation in the hips to sit up nice and tall, you can always place your blanket under your seat. So no matter if you're in the middle of a room or against a wall, just begin to settle in, maybe rocking side to side, just feeling the ground beneath your sits bones. And then closing the eyes down or softly focusing your gaze on something a little ways out in front of you. Allow the hands to rest in the lap or maybe face down on the knees. I personally love resting my hands face down on my knees because it just kind of invokes a sense of grounding and just security in the body. And take a moment to tune inwards. Bringing yourself back to your inner peace, back to your power. And take a body scan from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. And just observe how you're feeling in this moment. And then begin to observe the breath. Just noticing what your natural rhythm of breath is without you manipulating it or forcing it. Begin to let go of any tension through the hands, the jaw, the forehead. See where you can continue to soften through the body. And then begin to cultivate an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. So keeping the mouth closed. Inhale through the nose for a count of 3. Exhale through the nose for a count of 3. Inhale through the nose for 3. Exhale through the nose for 3. And continue finding this rhythm of breath. And you can change the count of it. Maybe you inhale for 4, exhale for 4. But finding this breath in and out of the nose. Maybe as you exhale, you can hear that audible breath as it kind of hits the back of the throat. And this is how we begin to take back our peace, take back our power by tuning inwards. and connecting to our breath. So our breath is our prana, our life source. And we're able to access it at any time. And sometimes we all just need that little reminder that we have everything that we need inside of ourselves. The mind has drifted off it all. Bring it back to the breath, back to your inhales and exhales. If you've found your way over to a wall, you can go ahead and move back towards your mat. And just slowly make your way there. Come back to this easy seat. The eyes are closed, begin to flutter them open. Slowly start to dip the chin in towards the chest. And then rolling the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Slowly making your way towards the back, so dropping the head back. And then making your way over towards the left side. Left ear comes down towards the left shoulder. And then back through center, chin to chest. Take 2 more of these very mindful and slow neck rolls. Moving in this direction. Almost like you're moving through molasses. So always want to be super cautious when we're doing anything with our neck. So not moving too fast, not forcing anything. After that 3rd roll, bring the chin back in towards the chest, and then see if you can seamlessly switch to moving the other direction. So bringing that left ear over towards your left shoulder. Slowly working your way around back. Right ear to right shoulder. And then chin back to chest. 2 more times in this direction. Finding those mindful movements. Maintaining those equal inhales and exhales in and out of the nose. Really see if you can stay consciously connected to your breath throughout this practice. On that 3rd roll, bringing your chin back in towards your chest, slowly lift the head back up. If you had a blanket or anything under your bum, go ahead and just move it off to the side. Keep that right knee bent. Extend that left leg out towards the side. Left arm is going to come in front of the belly. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. And as you exhale, side bend over towards the left. So right fingertips just reaching in that same direction as the left toes. Should feel a big, beautiful stretch through the right side of the body. Another option is to bring the left hand just outside of that left leg. You can rest it on the ground or a block. Sometimes I like to come down to my forearm. It just depends what feels best in your body. Try not to go too far, too fast. Today we're really focusing on just being gentle with our body. So we're not necessarily moving towards the deepest stretch that you can possibly find. We're just finding gentle ways to release tension in the body. Tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system, lowering the heart rate. Finding that rest and restore mode. Bring that left palm out in front of you, so place it down on the ground and then reach for the left toes with the right hand. And maybe your right hand makes it to your shin, maybe it makes it to the ground outside of your left leg. Maybe you can reach the toes. And what we're going for is not so much a stretch in the leg in this position, but more a stretch in that low back. So you start to feel probably that right side of your low back releasing and opening up. And again, don't move too far too fast. So we're not looking for pain. We're just looking to find that edge, find that subtle, gentle stretch, but one where you can still access your breath. So a really good way to know if you've gone a little bit too far is if it feels hard to breathe, if you feel any numbing or tingling in the body. Those are normally just a little bit of warning signs to back it up a little bit. Slowly rise back up to a seat. This time square your torso, so square those hip bones over the left leg. You may need to adjust where your bum is a little bit. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. This time we're going for that back of the leg stretch. So as you exhale, hands to hips, hinge forward. So keep that spine nice and long, find your edge, find where you feel that stretch in the back of the leg, but you can still breathe through it. It's not super intense. Once you found that spot, bring the hands down towards the ground and just start to melt into this pose. So you can round through the back once you get there. Maybe bring the hands down to the ground, maybe the forearms. If you have blocks, you can even rest your hands or your forearms on the blocks instead. Bring yourself back to those equal inhales and exhales in and out of the nose. Keep returning to your breath. Your breath is your anchor. Your breath is where you can find that inner peace. Nobody can take your breath away from you. Inhale, rise back up to that seat. And then go ahead and switch the legs out. So this time, pulling that left foot in towards the thigh, shift that right leg out to the side. So hips are squared forward, not over the right leg. We're gonna find kind of that open single leg position to start. Bring the right hand across the belly. As you inhale, left arm reaches up, and then over towards the right. So a nice big stretch through the left side of the body this time, anchoring that left sit bone down in towards the ground. And those left fingertips are just reaching in the general direction of your right toes. It doesn't mean they have to be anywhere near them. And the right arm can stay where it is, or it can rest on the outer edge of that right leg. Find what feels best in your body. And this is really where you'll start to notice sides. So one side is always way more open than the other side's always way tighter. And this is where you'll begin to pick up on that. So have some grace, adjust as you need to. Allow those exhales to signal the body to soften and release. So notice where you are trying to hold on to tension, hold on to muscular activation, and consciously see where you can just let go. Let go of what's not serving you. Let go of energy that doesn't need to be in your life. Inhale to rise back up. This time bringing the right hand out in front of you as you reach those left fingertips over towards your right toes. And remember, they may not make it all the way there. So maybe your left hand comes to the inner edge of that right leg. Maybe you can reach for the right shin instead. Find what feels best in your body. Keep anchoring down through that left sit bone. So finding that little stretch through the left side of the low back. Remember not to move too far, too fast. So if it's starting to feel hard to breathe, you may have gone a little bit too far, back it up. We're actively searching for that gentle, gentle stretch. Inhale to rise. This time, square the hips over the right leg. So this is where you may need to adjust your stance a little bit. Left foot is on the inner right thigh. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands to the hips. As you exhale, hinge forward, find your edge. Find where you can maintain a gentle stretch and also maintain your breath. And then bring the hands down towards the ground, start to melt forward. Beautiful job, my friends. Tune into the breath. Inhale to rise back up. Go ahead and bend into that left knee. Find yourself in an easy seat for just a moment. Walk the hands behind you, so fingers facing away from the body. And walk them out until you begin to feel a stretch through the front body and the shoulders. And this is going to look different for everyone. Remember, we're not going for the deepest stretch ever. So you just want to feel a gentle opening through the front body from east to west, across the chest, the collarbones, the front of the shoulders. And then walking those hands back in until you're upright. Go ahead and hop up onto the feet, keeping the knees bent. So just working into our hips a little bit here. The hands can stay out behind you. Sometimes I like to come up onto my fingertips, so tenting the fingers. Big inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, allow the knees to drop over to the left. So we're finding this 90-90 shape. And what I mean by that is you're finding a 90-degree angle with the legs. So from your right hip out to your knee, and from your knee down to your right ankle, you're finding that 90-degree or L-shaped bend. Same with that left leg, from the left hip to the left knee to left ankle, 90-degree bend. And then square the torso over that left thigh, keep those fingertips tented. See if you can hinge forward a little bit. Inhale to rise back up, come back through center. Exhale, other side. See if you can hinge forward over that right thigh. And maybe the hinge doesn't feel good in your body. Maybe you just stop in this upright position. We're gonna go a few more times on each side, so at your own pace. Inhaling through center, exhaling. Maybe you stay upright or find that hinge in the hips. The hinge is really just going to deepen that stretch in the outer hip. Inhale through center. Exhale to one side or the other. Let's go for 2 more times on each side. Moving with the breath. Come back to those equal inhales and exhales in and out of the nose. And whenever you've finished up, no rush to get there. Come back to that easy cross-legged seat. And then go ahead and roll over onto the hands and knees. And slowly, slowly lower yourself down on towards your belly. So sending the legs out behind you. Go ahead and untuck the toes once you get there. Coming up onto the forearms. So stacking the shoulders over the elbows. Fingers spread nice and wide, taking up lots of real estate on your mat. Pressing down into the tops of the feet, finding yourself in Sphinx pose. So a really beautiful way to open up through the hip flexors, the belly, the front body. And if this feels pinchy in the low back at all, you can widen the stance of the legs. This is going to kind of provide a little bit of space in the low back. And then to intensify this, you're just going to imagine that you can pull your elbows in towards your body, but keeping them in place. And then this way, we're almost pulling our heart through our upper arms. So again, try not to go too far, too fast. Find a stretch that you're maintaining your breath through. Shifting that left arm out to the side just a little bit. Begin to thread the right arm under the left. See if you can bring that right shoulder down towards the ground and allow the head to just hang heavy. So finding kind of a different variation of thread the needle. Should feel a really big, beautiful stretch through the back of the right shoulder. Maybe into the right side of the back a little bit. Inhale back up. Come back onto that right hand, right forearm, and then we'll switch sides. So taking that left arm, seeing if you can thread it underneath the right, coming down onto the left shoulder. Allow that head to relax. Right arm can reach out in front of you, or you can stay planted down in towards that right palm. Allow the head to relax. If you have a block or any other prop with you, you can also rest your head on that, whatever feels best in your body. Inhale to press back up. Come back into your Sphinx pose for just a moment. And go ahead and grab your blanket. Bring it out onto the left side of your mat. Lower yourself all the way down onto your chest. So coming onto your hands, elbows bent. And go ahead and cactus into the left arm. So left elbow is coming out from the left shoulder, so you're creating that 90-degree angle with the left arm. And then you're also gonna cactus the left leg. So almost think of it like a frog leg. And this is where I like to place the blanket under my left knee because it can feel a little bit funky without it. And then begin to pull your left knee up towards your left elbow. Relax the right arm out to the side, almost like you're making a T shape with it. And this is a really beautiful way to kind of get into that left hip and also left front body. Rest the right cheek down on the mat. And just settle in for a moment. You may have to wiggle around a little bit before you find a spot that feels really good in your body. Once you get there, tune back into the breath. On your next in breath, draw the hands back in towards the chest. See if you can shift that left leg back behind you. And then slowly lift the head, switch the blanket over to the other side. So moving into the stretch on the other side, keep that left hand grounded into the mat to stabilize you. Bring that right arm out into that cactus shape, resting on the left cheek. Left leg comes into that frog shape, resting the right knee on a blanket if you have one. And then slowly see if you can bring that right knee up towards your right elbow. And this is just where you're going to kind of intensify that stretch in the right hip a little bit. Remembering not to go too far, too fast. So find that sweet spot where you're still noticing a stretch, but you can breathe your way through it. Extend that left arm out long. Find those equal inhales in and out of the nose. If the mind has wandered off, bring it back to physical sensations in your body. Bring it back to your breath in and out of the nose. Exhale to release the stretch, sending the right leg back behind you. And this time bringing both palms out in front of you. So elbows out to the side, stack one palm on top of the other. It doesn't matter which one. And we're just gonna find this crocodile pose. So begin to rest your forehead down on your palm, the top of your hand, rather. May take you a moment to kind of wiggle your forehead around, find somewhere that feels comfortable. And then just start to wiggle your hips from side to side, finding some freedom in the spine, some freedom in the low back. You can slow down that movement whenever you'd like to, or keep doing it for a few more breaths if it's feeling good in your body. And this is where I'm going to leave you for today's practice in this crocodile pose. I want you all to take as much time as you need here. And if crocodile pose isn't somewhere you want to end your practice, you can always roll over, find a more traditional shavasana on your back and that corpse pose. I hope you all are feeling centered, rested. Take note of how you're feeling now compared to the beginning of this practice. And remind yourself that you hold the power to inner peace inside of you. You have everything that you need to access that feeling. And sometimes all it takes is a little reminder to tune inwards. My friends, thank you all so much for joining me for this class. From my heart to yours, until next time.